Welcome. This is Module 3, Topic 3, Lesson 3 of Formal Affair. In this lesson, we will be solving two-step equations, but first, we need to get warmed up. So turn your attention to the warm-up. It says solve each equation. Number 1, 2 and 3/10 times p, or 2 and 3/10 p, is equal to negative 11 and 73 hundredths. Number 2 is 3/4 r is equal to 10. Number 3, y is equal to 5 and 92 hundredths is equal to 1 and 63 hundredths. And number 4, 7 and 2/5 plus t is equal to 3 and 1/4. Now, these are all one-step equations, meaning you only have to do one operation to both sides to keep it equal and also to isolate the variable. These may look familiar from 6th grade. Do what you can and make sure that you're showing all of your work. If you need to use additional scratch paper, please be sure to ask a teacher. On your own, you are warming up your brains and remembering what it means to solve an equation. At this time, pause this video, set a timer for about 5 minutes. Pause here. Alrighty, now that you've had some time to work on your warm-up, let's go ahead and compare answers. So for question number 1, here is my work. P you should have gotten is equal to negative 5 and 1/10. Notice what I did. I divided both sides by 2 and 3/10, and my work is off to the right. Now, if you do not have enough time or space to write all of this down, you don't have to. What I want you to prioritize is writing down what's on the left, which are the steps to solving to getting to that answer. Alrighty, and for question number 2, here is my work. I divided both sides by 3/4 because you're multiplying 3/4 times r. When I divided 10 divided by 3/4, I know I have to put a 1 over that 10 to make it into a fraction first. And then I multiply by its reciprocal. If you don't remember what reciprocal is, that just means I'm turning my fraction upside down. So that 3/4 became 4/3. When I multiply straight across the top and bottom, I then simplified and got 13 and 1/3. For number 3, I subtracted 5 and 92 hundredths from both sides and got negative 4 and 29 hundredths. Now notice in my work, I flipped I flipped the subtraction. The reason I did that was because 1 and 63 hundredths, if I'm taking away 5 and 92 hundredths, I know my number is going to end up in the negatives, but I just don't know how negative. So I found the distance or the difference between those two numbers and then just added a negative sign in front. And lastly, number 4, here is one way, and in a second I'll show you a second way. I subtracted both sides, or subtracted 7 and 2/5 from both sides, and there is my work. I first had to make those fractions improper. I then had to find a common denominator, which was 20. The way that I got to 20 was multiplying 5 by 4, so I also have to multiply 37 by 4. The way that I got to 20 on the right was multiplying 4 times 5, so I also have to multiply 13 times 5. Once you have common denominators, then you can subtract. I subtracted, I got 83 over 20, and then I simplified and got 4 and 3/20. And looking back at my original problem, my negative number is larger, so my final answer is going to be in the negatives. Now this is just one way. And again, you'll learn later in this lesson that there are many ways to solve a problem. So let's look at a second option that you could have done. If you did not want to work using the fractions, you could have easily turned these numbers into decimals. Notice 2/5 and 1/4 are benchmark decimals, so decimals that you should be able to easily recall. And so 7 and 2/5 gives you 7 and 4/10. And then 3 and 1/4 gives you, or is equal to, 3 and 25 hundredths. So when I subtract 7 and 4/10 from both sides, you will then get -4 and 15 hundredths, which is also the same as that fraction answer. And this concludes the warm-up. I hope you enjoy your lesson today. I will see you in the next video.